Hello turtles. Today we shall see a prose from the unit 2. The name of the prose is Water, the Elixir of Life. Here the word elixir is different and it means magic. So water is the magic of our life. So we shall see what is in this prose. We are understanding some new words, everything. Man has through the ages sought in vain for an imaginary elixir of life, the divine Amrita. So vain, here the vain is failure, useless. Elixir, already I told, it is a magic. So for many years man is seeking. You'd have been playing hide and seek, no? So hiding is going behind and seeking is going and catching the person who is. So sought is the past tense of seek. So man is, for many years he is seeking for an Amrita. We say Amrita is a very divine liquid. So here DRAUGHT, draught, is drinking. DROUGHT is dryness. Okay, here it is an homophone, so it has to be clear with all this. So a draught of which was thought to confer immortality. So there's a talk that is this Amrita used to give you the ever living, no death at all. So immortality means never dying. They will never die. So for years the people are searching for Amrita, but the true elixir of life lies near our hands. But we have the elixir of life in our hands. It is very near to us, but why we are not realizing it? For it is the commonest of all liquids. Plain water is, of course, it's water. It's available for us. So it is one of the liquids which is easily available for us, and it is the magic of life, because the first living being has been created in the water and water only. And if there is no water, just imagine what will happen. There's no greenness, there's no vegetation, there is no food, there is no animal, there is no human. So everything is dry, just like other planets in the in this space. So since the earth is very special only because of the presence of water and air, of course, but the main thing is water. Here we are talking about the water. I remember one day standing on a line which separates the Libyan Desert from the valley of the Nile in Egypt. So Egypt is a country in an South African continent. So it is a country. If you stand in a particular place and see towards the left and the right, you can see the two different phases of the land. That is, one phase will be of complete dryness, that is the Libyan Desert. And in African continent we have the desert, which is the most deadliest desert and the most hottest desert, because Africa is near to the it is very near to the sun. So when you stand in a particular place in the Egypt and see towards the two faces, one side you can see the desert and the other side we can see the valley, which is very fertile, and this fertile valley is only because of the river Nile. So the importance of water is shown here, and it is a very good example to express what is the useful of the water. If water is absent, it is a complete desert, no life at all. And if it is a presence of water, there is life involved, there is happiness everywhere. On one side was visible a set of billowing sand without a speck of green. So billowing is raised. You can see in the picture, which is in the top. See, the sand is raised for some distance. So everywhere you search and see, there is not at all a green. There is no green. Speck is small. Even there is no small area of green. That is not even a small land which is very green or fertile or with trees and all, or a single living thing anywhere on it. You search for miles or kilometers. There is no living things at all. There is no living things, either animals, man, anything. So there is no living things and there is no green. Since there is no green, there is no living things. On the other side lay one of the greatest, most fertile and densely populated area. So already I told in the other slide, they have seen the two phases of the earth standing in a particular area in the Egypt. And one side, already I have told, there is not even a speck of green, and there is no life there. and on the other side it is very fertile. And since it is very fertile, people used to fly towards there because they need everything to be everything to survive, like the food, the water, the necessary things they need to live. So it is got only in the area where there is water. We can't go and live in the deserts because there is no greenish at all. So what we can eat and how we can live there to be found anywhere on the earth. So here in this Egypt, the Nile Valley is the most populated, densely means most populated area in the world. Okay, teeming with life and vegetation. Teem means filled. It is filled with TEAM. Teem is your team. You used to say team A, team B, team C, and all. No, that is TEAM, team. And here again it is an homophone. Here it is TEEM, team. So it is filled. So the other part of the Egypt is full of life and the vegetation. Vegetation here is greenish, the fertile land or the forest or anything. It is plants and trees. Here life is animals and humans, everything. So life and vegetation. What made this wonderful difference? Why there is such a difference here? It is because it is the same country, it is in the same continent. And how came this difference? It is only because of the magical power of the water, and here it is especially because of the river Nile. So we all know Nile river is the longest river in the world, and this Nile is visible from the space, just like a line drawn. Why it is the water of the river Nile flowing down to the Mediterranean from its source? So here is a special thing about the Mediterranean. There is a special thing about the river Nile. All the rivers, wherever the source it has, it used to flow towards the southern side. But here, this river Nile flows towards the northern side. That is, it is flowing towards the Mediterranean Sea. And after a couple of miles away, so after it is passing through the couple of miles away, it is going towards the Mediterranean Sea. And this is a special river because it moves towards the north side. It is not moving towards the south. Geologists tell that the entire soil of the river Nile Valley is the creation of the river itself, brought down as a finest silt in its floods water. So geologists say that the great difference between the desert there and the greenish there, that is a valley, is because the Nile river has brought all the entire sand to its way to form a very beautiful bed of sand where life can be created if the water has been fed. So here fine silt means it is a fine sand. You could have been seen sand which is very fertile and which is very soft and color. From the highlights of Abyssinia and from remote Central Africa. So these silts are being washed away from the Abyssinia and the Central Africa. So it sediments everywhere wherever it goes, and it gives a kind of sandy and laid down to the edges in the trough through which the Nile flows into the sea. So here TROUGH, trough is a container in which the cattle will be fed with some liquid. No, that is called trough, a long narrow container used to feed cattle. So this Nile is flowing towards the Mediterranean Sea. No, so after before it is going to reach the sea. So before reaching the sea, it creates a small trough where the water can be saved, and then it flows towards the towards the sea. Egypt is in fact was made by its river. So Egypt is made only by the river. If there is the absence of Nile, the Egypt is nothing. In ancient civilization, its ancient civilization was created and is sustained by the life-giving waters, which comes down year after year with unfailing regularity. So we all know that Egypt has a very ancient civilization in the world. It is only because of the Nile river, because it never failed any of the year. It always used to flow. It always used to bring a lot of water, and it used to give the greenish appearance for its land. So Egypt is a very ancient civilization. From there till here, it is only because of the river Nile. So, of course, water is a magic of the life. Here it is proven. I gave this example and could give many more to emphasize that this common substance which we take for granted in our everyday life is the most potent and the most wonderful thing on the face of our earth. So it is an example. So the author has gave the example about how a water can create a desert, or either it can create a fertile land. So there is lot of examples. Not only this, there is lot of examples to be given. So it is just to understand that we have water near our hands, but we never respect it. We never give it a conscious. We are not at all conscious of it, because we take water as a granted. There is a lot of countries without water. They are suffering a lot, because even without drinking water. Even in our India, there is a lot of places where people suffer without water at all. So whenever you see a leakage tap, or whenever you feel that you are wasting water, kindly save water. Be alert with water. Always respect the water. So be kind towards the water. Only then it will be kind towards you. It has played a role of vast significance in shaping the course of the Earth's history, and continues to play the leading role in the drama of life on the surface on our planet. Not only that, it has created a desert or the fertile land, it plays a very good role and very important role in shaping the course of the earth. That is, it gives a significant shape, significant beauty, significant elegance to our earth. Because you may know, in these pictures you just give a glance, there is waterfalls, there is marshland and glaciers, the sea, the ocean, the lake, the bay. Everything is a precious beauty of our earth. There is not even a single thing to be compared with. So each and every part of the water is itself, it is beauty. We can't ever compare anything with it. So it gives a amazing beauty to our. Just imagine our earth without this beauty, without this elegance. So it is merely waste. There is nothing which adds so much to the beauty of the countryside as water. You just think about your villages. Here, the countryside is villages. So you just think about your villages. How beautiful the rivers, the ponds, the lakes will be there, the tanks will be there. Be it just a little stream trickling over the rocks, or a little pond by the wayside where the cattle quench their thirst of the day. Even in a countryside, however large quantity of water it may be, or it may be a very little pond, however it may be, the animals, the cattle's feeding there, the cattle's playing there, the kids playing there. So even if it is a very small stream which is flowing very quietly, even that is itself is a very beautiful place in the countryside. So people fly towards the water. People fly towards the water to play with it. No, such a nice thing. The rain-fed tanks that are so common in South India, alas, often so sadly neglected in their maintenance. So in South India, we are always related to our monsoon rains. So here, rain-fed tanks means the tanks will be dry in some seasons, and when there is a monsoon, these tanks will be filled with water. So whenever there is no rain, whenever it is not filled with water, we used to neglect it. We never used to maintain it, and again the water comes and fills it. So it becomes a mere waste of land. Or we have to dig it into the deep to save precious water. Or a cheering sight when they are full. So when the water comes and fills it in the monsoon seasons, no, it gives a very beautiful sight. We used to go and see everything and come there. So we have to maintain all the thing surrounding our villages. Either it is a small pond or big pond or river, a stream, whatever it is, we have to maintain it in a proper way. They are of course shallow, but this is the less evident since the water is silt laden and throws a light back, and the button doesn't therefore show up. So we know that the countryside water spaces are shallow. Here shallow is little depth. So depth is very inner towards in, but shallow is, it is not at all depth, so it is very little depth. So this is only because of the silt which comes along with the rainwater. The rainwater comes and fills the tanks, no, year after year, only because of the monsoon. So whenever they rush up and come, they always bring the silt, and all the silt is deposited under the tanks or ponds or rivers. So there is no depth of the water at all. So we have to maintain it by taking all the silts from the tank or pond and making it still more depth to hold the large quantity of water. So this has to be done every year, this has to be checked every year. And kids, you are the future, so take care of your countryside villages or water bodies, and keep it safe. Help it to save more water, because if it saves more water, it will give you a very greenish life. One of the most remarkable facts about water is its power to carry silt or finely divided soil in suspension. So the most powerful thing about water is it used to carry everything on its way. So you could have been seeing the tsunamis, you could have been seeing the floods. It used to carry everything. Apart from that, the silt, the very finely divided soil, it will carry it for a very long distance. So that shows its power. This is the origin of the characteristic color of the water in rainfed tanks. You could have been seen even in these pictures. You just view the color of the water. In the first picture it is blue, in the second picture it is greenish and sandy color, in the third it is green, and the last you can see the two colors, light green and dark green. So all this differentiation, all this, why these colors are in different, why these water bodies are different colors are, the reason is the silt it is carrying, no, the silts deposited in the water bodies gives a color. So the color of the silt decides the color of the water bodies in our places. This color varies with the nature of the earth in the catchment area and is most vivid. Here vivid is clear immediately after the fresh inflow of flowing waters. So when the water rushes up into these water bodies, and after settling all the silt under the water, it gives a very nice coloring. So the color of the water is only because of the color of the sand or silt it has taken through its way. Swiftly flowing waters can carry fairly large and heavy particles. Here swiftly is fastly. So fast flowing water will carry large particles and even the heavy particles. So we could have been seeing the buses, the cars, the buildings, everything it used to carry. So only the fast water can carry all these heavy particles, but slow flowing waters will not do that. The finest particles, however, remains floating within the liquid in spite of the greatest density and are carried to greater distances. So, but even the slow running water can carry the silt, which is very less in their weight, and it will remain with it as if it is part of the water. So these silts are carried to very great distances. Such particles are of course extremely small, so you can't even see the slit. It is very very small, that is we cannot even filter it, or we can not even separate it by any special process. But their number is also great and incredible. Large amounts of solid matters can be transported in this way. So in this way this water carries a large amount of solid matters from all over the earth to a particular other place, which is very helpful for the other part of the earth. So since the video will be very long, I have cut short here, and the remaining we can see in the other video of kids. Pure water is the world's first and foremost medicine. So kindly understand, pure water, which is underground water. See here, pure water is not purate water, or it is not mineralized water, or it is not RO water. Just kindly understand. Take only the water which is from the underground. Even the hand bows you could have been having. Hand bows are in the schools, no? You kindly take the water from the hand bowls. It is very precious because it is under the earth, so it is very pure water. Never depend on ROs or like that waters, because water is the magic of life. Okay, pure water is the world's first and foremost medicine. It is a very good medicine. If you feel if you are feeling as you are getting a stomach pain, kindly don't go to the shops and drink the lavos or something like that. Take a tumbler of water and just relax. Your stomach pain will be over. Your stomach pain will be stopped. You just do this, experience this and see, and you can say it to me. So we shall respect the water, we shall deserve the water, we shall save the water, because it is precious. It is very precious than Amrita. Thank you to all kids. Thank you. Take care.